Tyler Perry's Straw is more than a movie, it's a cry for help that divides viewers and critics alike. Tyler Perry has long been a polarizing figure in modern filmmaking, especially when it comes to the portrayal of Black women. His latest Netflix offering, Straw, is no exception. The film stormed onto the platform with a bang, quickly climbing the audience approval charts with an 80% rating on Rotten Tomatoes audience score, even as critics voiced discomfort over its storytelling tropes. At the heart of Straw is Jania Watkinson, a single mother played with searing intensity by Taraji P. Henson. Struggling to care for her chronically ill daughter while navigating poverty, job instability, and a deeply unjust social system, Jania's descent into desperation is both tragic and, for many viewers, painfully relatable. A performance that transcends the script. Henson's portrayal is arguably one of her finest. A masterclass in emotional range that has audiences calling for award recognition. From quiet resilience to raw fury, her transformation captures the psychological toll of living on the margins. Social media has exploded with praise, with viewers describing the film as gut-wrenching, real, and unshakably haunting. Yet, this emotional power is precisely what makes the film so controversial. Critics argue that Perry, once again, leans too heavily on Black female trauma without offering meaningful resolution or critique. The Guardian's Andrew Lawrence noted, "It's a shame that after hiring Henson for 4 films now, Perry is still treating her like a speed bag." Others go further, calling the film misogynoir in disguise, a drama that repeatedly punishes its female lead to the brink of collapse. Plot or punishment? Walking the line between realism and exploitation. The story unfolds like a pressure cooker of hardship. Jania's everyday struggles, 3 low-paying jobs, a child with medical needs, threats of eviction, and a boss who cares more about order than humanity, are not just setbacks, they're avalanches. What starts as a survival story spirals into chaos after a violent robbery leads to a fatal misunderstanding and, ultimately, a hostage standoff in a local bank. If it sounds like a lot, that's because it is. Critics accuse Straw of excessive melodrama and emotional manipulation. But supporters argue that the chaos reflects the emotional reality many single mothers live, a relentless storm of struggle, where one bad day can lead to total collapse. Thematic echoes, a female John Q, or just more trauma porn? Many have compared Straw to Breaking, the 2022 Sundance thriller in which John Boyega plays a veteran pushed into robbing a bank. But where Breaking was framed as a systemic indictment of veteran mistreatment, Straw lacks such narrative sophistication. Perry introduces themes of healthcare inequality, systemic racism, and mental health, but barely scratches the surface. Instead, the film leans on spectacle over nuance, sacrificing complexity for emotional gut punches. Still, there are flickers of brilliance. Teyana Taylor as Detective Raymond offers a quiet, grounded counterbalance, playing a negotiator who sees Jania not as a criminal, but a woman on the edge. Sherry Shepherd also impresses as the compassionate bank manager, adding gravitas to the story's increasingly chaotic events. The larger conversation, art or agenda? The film's divisiveness reignites a long-standing debate around Perry's brand of storytelling. Is he giving voice to the voiceless, or profiting from pain? Is he uplifting Black women by casting them as survivors, or trapping them in an endless loop of victimhood? Perry has insisted that Straw is about empathy. I think that a lot of people, no matter if you're a Black woman or not, will relate to that feeling of "I'm at my last straw," he told Netflix's Tudum. And in some ways, he's right. The emotional resonance of the film is undeniable. But critics argue that empathy should come with care, not trauma overload. A necessary watch or just another Tyler Perry formula? Straw is not easy viewing. It's exhausting, infuriating, and emotionally overwhelming. But perhaps that's the point. The film forces audiences to reckon with the fragility of the American dream, especially for working-class Black women. Whether you see it as exploitative or empowering, Straw is a cultural flashpoint, a film that demands conversation, even as it divides opinion. And at its center is Taraji P. Henson, carrying the weight of Perry's vision, and the pain of her character, with grace, power, and heartbreaking humanity. Compares the straw narrative arc to real-world burnout experienced by working-class women, not just as a plot device but as a mental health commentary. Positions straw as a cultural Rorschach test. How viewers react says more about their worldview than the film itself. Introduces the idea that Perry's films may benefit from co-writers or consultants who better understand the communities he portrays. Suggests that Henson's performance could launch a wider conversation on the emotional labor of Black women, both in real life and in Hollywood narratives.